Okay, I'm doing this video because I've been among the new Mandela effects since a month. So Raka, I'm a French Canadian, so there will be some pronunciation mistakes, so you have to live with it. And I don't see the purpose to do it in French Canadian, so I'm doing it in English. So currently, this is a map that I've done from my base reality. So as you can see in my case. One of the first thing I saw when I've seen that I was affected was Australia. Australia is way more south. It's even souther than New Zealand on my map. There is also a kind of curve that is not there. You see for Panama, Panama it's a straight line. I tried for Florida to put it straight. It's a little bit more straight. In this reality, it's a little bit more wide. Sicilia is not that close to Italy. Svalbard is way smaller, and since it's a Mercator pro projection, this, as you can see, this won't be as wide as England and Ireland, but on the current map, it's way too big. Okay, I'm doing this video because I've been okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hi everyone, this is Raka. I'm a French Canadian and I realize that I've been affected some new Mandela effect since a month. So I had a weird feeling on March 16 and it's on March 19 that I realized that I've kind of switch of reality. So since then I tried to build a map that is similar to my base reality, which could be different from yours from what I've seen from different people. So in my case, it's really close to this reality, but there is some big difference. So Australia is way down south. It's even Tasmania is even southern of New Zealand. Here, the Sicily island is it's not that close to Italy. Svalbard is smaller, And the other big thing for Panama, it doesn't have a kind of curve there. For Panama, the canal is east-west, it's not north-south. And the other thing is that I already seen is Svalbard. Svalbard is, I did it way smaller because currently on the Mercator platform this world, it's way too big. So from the perspective you could see on a flat map like this, that is uh, that is as wide as England and Ireland together. Even though of course it will be smaller since it's a navigation map for Mercator. So like you see Greenland, Greenland is way smaller than Africa, but just for the perspective, it gives you the wide view. So the other thing is Kamchatka here from Russia is more straight. And the same thing for Florida. Florida, the map was a little bit more wide, so I tried to put it together and to put it more straight together, but it's probably a little bit too wide. And I've seen different stuff, different change. Like there's a lake in Las Vegas that doesn't exist in my reality. If you look at the map, um, yeah, I will point it later for Minnesota. There's a line that going into Canada. For Canada, the borderline with the United States is a straight line. Um, Here there's a bay inside India. Actually, the government was trying to stop some subdiver to find the old city. Like if you watch the documentary from Graham and Cook, Quest for the Civilization, if you found some cities that were 12,000 BC earlier inside Japan, and there were some there, and also all Indonesia was, we could say, it was a presqu'île like Kamchatka, so there probably have other stuff that could remain there, but the erosion with the time would only keep the straight line. So that's it for the map. So the oh okay. So the other thing that helped me to see if uh, if I saw a difference in the world was also with the time zone. As you can see, sometimes I'm doing like little bets, $5 for the UFC card, and like watching the Mojo, the alignment. So like Mercury trine Saturn. So that's kind of alignment. That's part of the electric universe. So for my part, I'm not a flat earther. I do believe in the globe, and when I look at my mojo, sometimes when I have bad alignment, I know I have bad days at work. By night shift, I'm working nights, so it's among the thing that I can see from the difference will be the sky. And for this file, the first thing I said that was different, currently if I have a fighter that came from Brasilia, I would have seen going south, and I would have seen here Bhutan. Bhutan doesn't exist in my reality. Bhutan is not present. So I would have been like, what the heck? And that's when I see that I can pinpoint that I really switched near the 16 through 19. So, because if we take a look here, okay, so for the Minnesota, that was the part I was talking about. Currently, it's a straight line, and here it's a straight line on up to Superior Lake, Lake Superior. So, like in my case, Eritrea doesn't exist there. Like I told earlier, it's way wider from Sicilia. It's not that close. It's really too close. And if we take a look, Svalbard, It's way too big currently. The land mass is probably comparable like to Ireland, but it's way smaller. And Sri Lanka is more south, a little bit more south. And yeah, yeah, for my part, here Bhutan doesn't exist. It seems to be a really nice country, no smoking and stuff like that. Just watch a few videos to learn about it. I've seen a YouTuber, Lazo Zone, I believe he's from Alberta. In his case, it was Laos that didn't exist. In my case, it was Bhutan. So we are living from different realities. We're kind of get here. So probably I do believe like we switching with ourselves. Like when I was the first thing I was asking to people was what's the capital of Australia? Because Australia, yeah, is way smaller. Uh, yeah, is Australia is smaller and Australia is more south too. And in my reality, the capital is Melbourne. But when I asked to people around me and my coworkers, most of people were telling Sydney. But in this reality, it couldn't be Sydney. It's uh, it's Canberra. Canberra is kind of the elite town that has been built as a consensus to be the capital between Sydney, like an agreement between Sydney and Melbourne. But most of people I'm asking the question were replying Sydney. And I always keep an open mind. So if somebody would have told me that it was Brisbane or Perth, I would have accepted that answer. But most of people were telling Sydney. Some people told me like, "Oh, my brother is there. I went to Australia like 20 years ago. Sydney was the capital. It should be still like it should still be the capital." So many people are affected, but they don't really know, or and probably they don't receive the kind of wake up. But actually, since it's some difference on the map, it's not, sadly it's not everybody. Like if I take my youngest brother, if my youngest brother is affected, he won't really knows. He's not the best inside for the geography and stuff like that. But like if you ask him to help you for a car and everything else, it will be really helpful. But in geography, it's not his cup of tea, as I could say. So the yeah, so since it's been a month, like everybody that probably been aware tried to find the some explanation or some reason. And as I told that I was with the that was in the Electric Universe Believer, uh, I can try if I'm not sure if it brings more confusion or if it could help in this case. But what I recall is oh, I will try to move it back to to last Christmas. Because last Christmas in my reality, you see, there was an alignment from Saturn, Venus, the Sun, and the Earth. In that time for Christmas, here in I'm living near Ottawa, so on the northeast, it was deep cold for 4 days, and after that, when we yeah after that it was around 5 and 6 when Venus, the Sun, and the Earth was aligned, we got another extra cold days. The electric universe, those alignment is happening like most of the time every day, but like in the 90s, in the 80s, the effect was way lower. But I'm a planetics believer, so when those alignment get across from the Earth, we sometimes have earthquake and like bad weather and stuff like that in different places. Sometimes it could be hurricanes. So most of the time it's related with those elements. But if you take like the Nepal earthquake, it was a 7.5, I believe, if I remember well. the earthquake for Fukushima, the Japanese, and even the if you can go back way back, like the Christmas 2006, there was a tsunami in the southeast. No, it's Indian Ocean. So in those time, those were alignment, but not with planets. So that's when we could see with the symptoms that there was something wrong. There were like planetics. The reason it was always on a scale like for the orbit, since it's going more south and after that going north. Uh, it was always in 188 days. The only exception was it 2012 or 14 when actually actually Jupiter was right beside us and shielding us. So that's what happened for that particular alignment for the pattern. So it was the exception since we must consider like every planet like I'm searching for condensator. It's like the batteries on the PC that accumulating energy. And since the Earth is kind of I do believe like the Earth has been hit like in the past. That's why we would have so many tectonic plague. So some some of the time when the Earth is weaker, which is the this part, the iron. I'll just forgot the name for all this play, but usually it's everywhere here that you get the most powerful earthquake. So that's that's a part of it. And we'll try to do like a quick version of it. So I know it's far from perfect. It won't be edited, but that's that's part of my reality now, and so I'm trying to find out what's the cause of it, and actually I know many people say CERN, so yeah, for the timing for CERN, like week 11, you see 19 there, it's the first time that I was aware, but when I got the feeling, it was mostly like Friday here, so they were probably testing stuff, so if it's CERN, it could happen. And I know that some people were also talking, put Orion, because Orion, since I'm working night in the city, those the belt, I was able to see it, but since then I can barely see it. Like sometime I will have to remove all the stacks of skid that are outside inside the van to bring it back to the main warehouse. So I was doing like a lot of ship outside. So usually I was seeing those very clearly. Now since since I moved to this reality, I barely see any stars, so I don't really recognize the sky. When I see the moon is like 25% smaller than in my reality. And the other thing is with the sun. The sun is currently it's whiter, like probably 25% too when I was able to see it. If you take like for the sun, the main like you could try to explain it quickly for why the sun is was white also in my reality. Whoop. Nah, I missed that line. Should take that one. So the sun is projecting, but when there is a connection outside the flux still, so you all have close line that part that means that the earth is connected together and you have like other lines that are connected with the other planets and stuff like that, you will have the solar wind this direction. And sometime we were seeing anomalies, and it was like plasma bubble getting out. So that's the reason why the sun got wider. So in my reality, nothing's changed like for the sky except since I switched here. So and the sun was seen white with this original white color. It's like since the atmosphere thinner, we see it bright as is real color. It's white, but not as the with the atmosphere that we had in the past. I remember in the 80s and 90s, it was well yellow. So that part explain it, and also, there were like for the Arctic, the polar ice on the Arctic, it has melted. It was not on the land. So it's like if you take an ice cube if there is an ice cube in your cup of water, when it melts, the water will stay at the same size. So it's the only thing that was happening. It was like the iceberg coming from Groenland, and also Iceland was melting, and there were some also for the Antarctica. And if I oh yeah, I did close Google Earth. Yeah. So for Antarctica, yeah, yeah, that's oh for Antarctica, it has like if it's the bottom, or like here, there's a bankies that was leaving out. Here I put the circle around the the time that we were targeted for Christmas. So it was in this area. So I was searching for like for a link if something similar happened here for like in the Mandela effect, and actually from one YouTube site from a girl from Boston. We'll put the link there. She was receive a card, and like she tear up the top, so she can't reseal it, and she get it twice. So I do believe from experiment that, or from what I've seen, that we could be moving with all our stuff since I moved. Like my room was a little bit messy, and it was exactly the same. But it's weird to tell, but probably we have copy of ourselves in different realities. Because when I was talking with people uh, from some coworkers or and I was asking them, "Oh yeah, you have a weird question." It was only for the capital of Australia. Even though when they gave me like the another answer different to my reality, they were always telling me, "Oh, you always came here with weird question with this with this like part of me. I'm not like the usual or the mainstream." Like believer and everything. Like for me, Canada is still it's still like a colony for the England since like our navy it's HMS or Majesty ship. Our police is Gendarmerie Royale, so so the king. So and if we have to start election, we have to ask the permission for the governor, the general governor, ou gouverneur général in French. So in a way, I do believe that we're still a colony, and a big example was when the Queen wanted to keep the island, they sold us for crappy submarines, and one the HMS Chicoutimi was totally broke down, so they had to rebuild it. So it was part of it. Uh, let's see. So for yeah, and for Antarctica, it was right here. So it was that part here. So that yeah, that was moving and creating new iceberg. And the other thing for the like other planets, I'm not really sure if we didn't really search for it. Was it Neptune? Star? 2, I believe, if I remember well, it was 2009. And if I don't the great spot, but actually I lost the link. I didn't really search for the link. It was in my other reality that I saw it like a few years ago, and the other thing was with Jupiter, the gray, the like the brown storm was getting smaller. So it was picture, yeah, picture was similar to a bit to those one. Maybe a slightly different, but anyway, that's yeah, that's probably it. Sorry, it's a little bit of a mess, but I never really planned to be a YouTuber anyway. So have a nice day, and see you later if I do another video. Bye bye.